very well of late, a really strong competitor for Coach Carrie Reeves. So we're going to see who picks up the slack. Early pressure on Emma as she steps into the starting lineup.
The head coaches in this game, Carrie Reeves for Central Connecticut, Terrell Coburn you see there for the Wagner Seahawks. TC in his second year, the 10th head coach in Wagner history. Carrie Reeves, the 5th head coach in Central history. She was Burl Piper's first hire as an assistant back in the summer of 2007, took over the reins during the pandemic 2020-2021 season. So here we go, center circle for the opening tip here at Dietrich Gym. Roll call in Wabudo. It's won by the Blue Devils. They're wearing their home white going right to left. Seahawks wearing their road green going left to right. And we have a little false start here.
Yeah, the shot clock didn't start right away. The officials will take a couple seconds down. Shot clock down to 27.
So we will get an inbounds here on the near sideline with Jenkins getting it to top, and the Blue Devils coming in following a victory at LIU 60-43. Perhaps their best all-around conference win of the short season so far. They come in 2-3, looking to even their conference record, as Toppin is a little bit off on her shot, but a rebound by Kennefic, and the offensive rebound is going to be huge today, Pam.
Yeah, they're going to be huge. 20 offensive rebounds for the Blue Devils against LIU on Thursday night. It led to 16 second chance points. That's a way for the Blue Devils to stay in this basketball game.
Toppin's free ball is short. There's another offensive rebound, throwing it to the sideline, deflected by Wagner. It'll stay Central possession.
Yeah, Central's got the advantage height-wise on the front court. We talked about Rokal in the open, her ability to rebound the ball. Kennefic coming off a career-high 12 rebounds against the Sharks on Thursday.
Here's Rokal. Trying to get it to Bruen, 10 on the shot clock. Bruen on the dribble drive, gets past Cowan and gets the layup to go.
Yeah, great spacing and a good challenge by Cowan, or of Cowan. Bruen, nice job taking the basketball all the way to the rim.
Bruen played only 2 minutes against LIU, was 0 for 1 from the field. In the starting lineup today, she drives to the basket, pretty aggressive move, and gets the game's first score. And again, that was on a third chance opportunity after 2 Central Connecticut State offensive rebounds. Here's Wabudo trying to get around Rokal. She does, but she can't finish the layup at the basket, and Rokal pulls it down.
Yeah, 6'2" frame on Rokal. The freshman really starting to exert herself and be a real contributor for Coach Carrie Reeves. She's not a traditional back-to-the-basket player. Seen her come out and face. She's a good passer.
Gets it to Kennefic at the NEC logo. Spins, turns, and gets it to drop.
Yeah, Kennefic with a little step back on Fabosi. 1-2 zone out of Central Connecticut State.
4-0 Blue Devils here 2 minutes in. Central on their home court. They're going to even up their conference mark at 3-3. They're currently a game out of the top 4 in the NEC standings. And a turnover right there. Forever Toppin had the ball bounce right to her, but it's turned right back. Cowan reaches in there, flips it over to Hayward. Nice bounce pass to Wabudo, who can't finish the layup.
Good steal by Cowan to stay in the play. Cowan with the errant pass created the turnover, but her stick-to-itiveness, she stayed in the play, got the ball back. Seahawks unable to convert on the fast break opportunity.
Around the perimeter, right to left. Forever Toppin gets the top of the key to Bruen. Bruen again driving to the basket, puts it up short, and it's pulled down by Thibault. Thibault, the grad student from Elmont, New York, taking it right to the basket.
Well, you've got to stop the basketball. That young lady, quick with the basketball, leads the NEC in assists. She's a veteran leader. She's had the ball in her hands for 3 years for the Seahawks. That's an easy take.
Talking with Coach Reeves the other day, she said about Z, she's dynamic in the open court. They hope to contain her. Can't contain Bruen right there as she gets another basket.
Yeah, really confident challenge out of Bruen.
6-2 Central Connecticut State up 4 on Wagner. The Seahawks got off to such a hot start in their 84-63 win on Thursday against Stonehill. Dominant first quarter. They shot 11 for 17, put up 28 points. Count a little head fake from the right side. Now along the baseline, gets to Fabosi. Fabosi on the drive, muscles it up and in off the square.
Yeah, Fabosi, great size. She's playing the 3-4 position for the Seahawks.
Quickly in transition, Bruen off the mark. Here's Hayward. It's a 3-on-3. Gets to count in the left corner. A little head fake. Drives in for a closer look. And they call the foul on Central. That'll be a foul on Forever Toppin, her first, team's first here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Craig, you can see that was one of the keys Coach Coburn pointed out. He said, we really want to push the pace. That time, Cowan picks up the blocking call. But the Seahawks are going to try to go in transition every opportunity they have.
Rakisha Bollinger will come into the game for the Seahawks as Cowan steps to the stripe. 87% free throw shooter, good for third in the league. And of course, as I say that, she misses the first.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Alex. She's coming off a 16-point performance, and as we talked about in the open, she's been red hot these last few games, averaging 15 points the first 5 games in conference play. The last 4 games in particular, 15 points, 16 points, 20 points, and another 16-point outing just 48 hours ago.
Yeah, Craig, she's been so consistent this year overall. She's had double figures in 11 of their 16 total games. A real go-to player for Coach Coburn.
Jenkins had to go back to the center circle to corral it. And there'll be a foul on Wagner as Jenkins tried to make the approach.
Yeah, I think they got roll call on the moving screen there.
Okay, so we'll change it. Turnover. Something that Wagner feasts on. We know TC loves those, the defensive pressure, the relentless defense, and forcing turnover is a big part of it.
Big part of it. It's a trademark of the program. They really want to make the other team uncomfortable with the pressure, with the pace.
What a move by Z. Thibault getting it to go with the layup.
Yeah, Central Connecticut State has to be aware of where Thibault is with the basketball. They've got to have help side defense in rotation.
She was as quick as a hiccup right there as Toppin pops the basketball, and there's another turnover by the Blue Devils.
Yeah, credit Sanchez-Henry for the good ball pressure.
Marissa Sanchez-Henry, number 13, junior from Ellicott City, Maryland, just into the game. The Wagner Seahawks off to their best conference start in program history, 10-6 overall, but 5-0 in league play. Here's Thibault, baseline jumper, no good. Battle for the rebound. Bruin has it on the baseline. And now here's Central pushing the pace. Rocco had to go off her fingertips right to Wabadoo. And now a long baseball pass up ahead to Sanchez-Henry, who finishes with the lay-in.
Yeah, Rocco, that's not a great spot to give her the basketball.
And another turnover, perhaps. Yes, indeed. It's Ballinger. Pops a shot from the free throw line. No good. And the rebound by Kennefic, and she's fouled.
Yeah, Toppin with an uncharacteristic turnover. That was the number one key to this game. According to Carrie Reeves, they had to be able to handle the Wagner pressure.
Timeout on the floor. Wagner with the lead, 8-6. You're watching NEC Women's Basketball.
Everything you'd expect from a big university experience, except for one thing. A big tuition.
8-6 lead, Pam. We said turnovers, rebounding, big keys to the game, and Wagner's getting both in their favor right now a little bit, and they were able to get back the lead.
Yeah, no question, Craig. 5 early turnovers for the Blue Devils. Coach Reeves said in the last 4 or 5 games they've been able to really run the floor. Today they're trying, but they've got to have productive trips. They have to take care of the basketball. And this is our first look at the Seahawks' extended pressure.
They pressured coming off the floor. It was deflected out of bounds. Last touch by the Seahawks, so Central will get a chance to inbound. Amaya Williams, it looks like we're going to see a little bit more of her today, perhaps, with Belle Lanfer out. If you're just joining us, Lanfer, sophomore from Princeton, Mass, has been a key for Central, brings a lot of competitiveness, takes a lot of charges, good defender. Not dressed for today's game, deflected out of bounds, still Central basketball.
That's such a great job defensively. They're trying to do a screen on the ball, but Thibault's so quick, able to get over the screen. Rocco lucky not to pick up another foul.
5 on the shot clock. Jenkins in between the circles, starts her approach. Shot clock down to 1. She did not get it off, so that'll be another Central turnover.
Yeah, great sequence by the Seahawks defensively.
In that game against Stonehill, Wagner forced 19 turnovers, and they got 26 points off turnovers. They feast off it, and they're doing it indeed again here today in the first quarter.
Craig, they're averaging 25.5 forced turnovers a game. Their goal is 20. They've exceeded that in every conference game so far.
I'll call with a little bit of a deflection right there, a block. So Central with a defensive stand, and now a chance to even the game or perhaps take the lead with a triple, although 3-ball is something that they're looking to improve on. And that will go out of bounds along the baseline, will go the other direction.
Yeah, Central Connecticut State's trying to take advantage of a high-low look, use their size advantage down low. We've seen a couple errant passes. The last one going to go down as a turnover, Seahawks basketball.
And Pam, just to go back to Lanford for a second, we were talking with Coach the other day, and you mentioned, last year at one point they were down to like 6 or 7 players on their roster. Now they can go 12 to 14 deep, so they do have the depth to perhaps overcome that loss.
Yeah, Carrie Reeves so excited about the 14 women she has on the team. She said they're all contributors. They do it in the weight room, in the classroom, on the court. Right now they better do it defensively because the Seahawks are going by them much too easy. It's going to be a long afternoon for the Blue Devils if they don't do a better job containing the basketball.
Sanchez Henry with a nice little teardrop in the lane to extend the lead to 4. Central trying to answer, and Williams will draw the foul on her way to the hoop.
Maya Williams showed the ability to hang. See if she can convert these two.
Williams, sophomore from Syracuse, 79% from the stripe. Twice this year she's been in double figures, 10 points against St. Peter's and also 10 points against UMass Lowell back at the beginning of December.
Played 23 minutes recently against Stonehill, so she does have some experience on the court.
First free throw good. Central Connecticut State, again, coming off that big win at LIU we mentioned earlier, perhaps the best they've looked in conference play so far. Also, you could say the best they've looked on the road so far. They were a team that going into that game was 1-8 on the season on the road. That victory was their first road win since the middle of December. So, nice road win, and then they come back home as Fabosi was short on the layup attempt.
Yeah, Fabosi had a great run down the right lane. It was an outstanding pass.
There's Williams again.
Layup.
Elusive through the lane, can't finish, and Cowan comes up with a loose ball. Cowan in transition. I'm trying to take it herself. Count it, and one.
Yeah, Cowan's so tough with the basketball. Again, one of the strongest guards in the Northeast Conference. Seahawks want to play end-to-end basketball. And you talked about their record on the road, Craig. How about their record at home? Here's another look at Cowan going right to the basket. 6-1 for the Seahawks on the home court at the Spiro Center.
Winning 6 in a row, holding opponents to about 59 points per game. So, yeah, they play really good, which, again, if they're going to be one of the top teams and maybe have home court come March, they could be a really tough out in the tournament this year.
Well, they're going to be a tough out because of the defensive intensity they bring every night.
Here's Allie Sentence from deep. Trying to put a period on that, but there's a foul in the battle for the rebound.
They're going to get Fabosi a little bit too aggressive on the block out. Caught her with a hold. Fabosi, a transfer from Providence College, played 2 years for the Friars, Staten Island native, has come in, really added to the Seahawks culture. She's going to get a break early, but Coach Coburn very happy with the contribution from Julia Fabosi.
Not just with a big East experience, as you mentioned, but he told me, she's from Staten Island. He's known her since she was 12 years old, so a lot of familiarity with her game. Rokel with the rebound. She pulls it down again. Central working that offensive glass, getting the second chance opportunities. Here's Bruin, a little crossover dribble. Had a lane to the hoop, and she gets the score.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was really nice. That was a dynamite crossover dribble, good explosiveness. Central has had some opportunities to penetrate, but the Seahawks have done great damage early. And there's another show and go.
Drea Hayward coming in on roll call, and they'll count that. And the foul.
Yeah, Seahawks have really broken down the Blue Devils defensively. Penetration, just a killer, just a little fake. Didn't see too much contact there, but Hayward gets the foul, makes the basket, chance for a three-point play.
And that's number 2 on roll call. You can see right there, she heads to the bench. Allie Napoli will come in and take her spot. So that could be a big vacancy right now for Central Connecticut. 15-10 as The Wagner Seahawks pick up the pressure on the defensive end.
Yeah, the made free throw allows the Seahawks to set the pressure.
Dangerous cross-court pass there that was nearly intercepted, but Central is able to get it.
Well, they just barely got it over in the 10-second mark as well.
And we're going to go the other way. An offensive foul.
Yeah, moving screen.
And that'll be on Amaya Williams. So Wagner certainly taking advantage of the opportunities. And Wagner, the big win the other night against Stono. The one thing they didn't do, though, they lost the battle on the offensive glass 14-9. So, that's something that Central does really well. Wagner didn't do it well the other night. So I think maybe coming in, that's something Central can take advantage of, and they have to an extent. Nice pass along the baseline for the lay-in.
Yeah, good overload by the Seahawks.
Now the pressure on the inbounds. And it's tapped out by Hayward, again, using up almost all 10 seconds on that clock to get into the half court.
Yeah, you want to be deliberate, but you also want to keep an eye on that 10 seconds you have to get the ball over half court.
Ballinger will come back in for the Seahawks. Plays Angeli Ricard, who came in, the freshman from Canada. Sentenced to inbound, gets it to top in. Final minute here of the first quarter. The Seahawks with a 7-point advantage. Sentence on the drive, now off for dribble. Feeds Bruen in the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound is tapped to Kenefick, who tried to get it, and there's a foul.
Good job by Kenefick staying with the play. Offensive rebounding with roll call out. You wondered who's going to step up for the Blue Devils. Good effort by Kenefick, one of the leaders, the captain of the Central Connecticut State Blue Devil squad.
One of the top rebounders in the league, currently 5th, so top 5 in the league in rebounds. Running jumper from the lane by Bruen, no good. Napoli trying to get the loose ball, and another foul on the Seahawks. Foul will be on Hayward.
Napoli with the early contribution. She's added depth to the front court for Coach Reeves.
So that's the 5th team foul on Wagner, so free throws here for Central. Interesting, though, they bring Rocco back in with her 2 fouls.
With 38 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Allie Napoli, sophomore from Massachusetts, at the stripe. First free throw good. She's 69%. Napoli saying her older sister introduced her to the game of basketball. Their family lives on a beach in Massachusetts. Sure is very good life.
Not bad. And how about the trust Coach Reeves is showing in roll call in terms of putting the freshmen back in the game with the 2 early fouls.
With Wagner coming down and Central having to play defense. About a 7-second differential in the 2 clocks. Thibault gets to Hayward on the baseline, driving past Bruen and getting the lay-in.
Yeah, Hayward so strong. She does all the little things according to Coach Coburn. They don't always show up in the stat column. That drive is going to show up. Hayward known as one of the best defensive players on the Seahawks squad, showing she's got the offensive moves as well.
Topic got a screen. And we're going to go the other way.
Yeah, right on cue. Hayward with the charge, picks up the charge.
Well, you wonder why Rocco was in the game to set that screen on offense. That was the answer. It just didn't work out as the offensive foul turns it over. Final 7 seconds. They'll roll it all the way to half court before finally Thibault picks it up. Down to 3, down to 2. She drives in with the layup, and that's how the first quarter will come to an end. Largest lead of the game for the Seahawks, 21-11 through the first 10 minutes here in New Britain, Connecticut. The Seahawks shooting 63% in that first quarter. We'll step aside and bring it right back. You're watching NEC Women's Basketball. Ten-point lead. Wagner has scored 10 points off 9 Central turnovers, and there's your difference right now. Cowan, a 3-ball, back iron, no good. Racing in for the rebound, second chance opportunity as Cowan has her own miss. Getting it back to Thibault. Here's Wabadou at the free throw line. Off her dribble, trying to feed it to Hayward. 10 on the shot clock for the Seahawks. Hayward, left-handed dribble, drives to the hoop and gets the bucket.
Yeah, again, dribble penetration. Central just not able to stop the basketball.
Bruin the leading scorer for Central Connecticut with 6 points in that first quarter. Here's Forever Toppin, the senior from Paterson, New Jersey. Won a preseason all-conference player by the coaches. Here's Allie Sentence getting it to Napoli, who lets it fly from deep and gets the shooter's roll off the rim.
Yeah, good set offense. Napoli had her feet set. Good range. Central needed a basket. But they've got to continue to work on things on the defensive end.
And there's Cam Wabadoo taking it right to the basket. Wabadoo 6 times this year. She's been in double figures scoring. Here's Kenefick. It was a late trailer into the half court, but she got the pass. Now right in between the circles. Allie Sentence looking for Bruin to come around. 10 to shoot for the Blue Devils. Kenefick. Guarded by Wabadoo. What a matchup there. Down to 5 to shoot. Toppin throws it up, but going to be well short. Shot clock violation. Wagner basketball.
Again, great defensive series by the Seahawks. You can hear the squad talking on defense. They really are applying a lot of ball pressure. Nowhere for the Central Connecticut State Blue Devils to go with the basketball.
Wagner today looking to improve to 6-0 in league play for the first time in program history. Hayward for 3, but draws back iron. Napoli pulls it down.
Seahawks were the preseason #1 pick by the Northeast Conference coaches, and certainly are living up to all that hype early in this basketball season.
I would say so. Central, Wagner, and FDU, the lone remaining unbeatens in conference play, going into today's action. Here's Bruin feeding Napoli along the baseline for the lay-in.
Yeah, Bruin's been effective for the Blue Devils. She's been able to penetrate. We've seen her go to the rim a couple times. That time with the ability to assist. She's been effective.
Someone should check and see if Bruin has eyes in the back of her head right there. Here's Wabadoo. Speaking about a good find, Wabadoo on the low blocks lays it in.
Yeah, Wabadoo snuck behind the defense. Good catch and finish. The score allows the Seahawks to set the press.
Wabadoo coming off a double-double, 14 points, 12 rebounds against the Skyhawks. Open look for Napoli from about 15 feet. No, she gets her own rebound and is fouled on the way back upstairs.
Yeah, Napoli did a great job following her shot. Another offensive rebound for the Blue Devils. Another look as Napoli goes up, really chases that miss.
Offensive rebounding has been a 7-1 advantage for Central Connecticut. As we thought that would be an advantage for them, and it's certainly turned out that way. First free throw rattles in. And free throws plays to Central's advantage as well. They're the #1 free throw shooting team in the league at 73%. Second free throw's good.
They're doing a great job on the boards. That was one of the keys to the victory, is that they dominate the glass. But if they cannot figure out how to stop the penetration from Wagner, they're going to continue to have problems. And they're giving up high percentage shots, Craig.
27-18 here in the second quarter. Around the perimeter, right to left. Here's Sanchez Henry. Bounce pass deflected, and it'll go out of bounds and stay on this end with 6 to shoot.
That was a better job defensively, though. We saw some weak side rotation, some help defense. Seahawks with 6 seconds. Plenty of time to get a good look.
Thibault pulling the trigger, gets it out to her former high school teammate, current college teammate, Cam Wabadoo. Nice ball moves to get through the lane and find space to get the shot in.
Great up and under.
Central trying to beat the pressure. Trying to get it to Napoli off her fingertips, but she gets it in the corner. Nearly throwing it away. It's out of bounds, and it will be last touch off Central.
The Seahawks achieve their goal. They want to make you uncomfortable, make you play a little faster than you're used to. The Blue Devils with another turnover.
Amaya Williams will return, relieving Forever Toppin. Wagner Seahawks this year defeating opponents by an average about 19 points in conference play. They've had 2 nail-biters against Merrimack as we get a tie-up. Cowan and Williams, jump ball, possession arrow will go the other direction. But, take those 2 games against Merrimack out of the way. Wagner's won pretty convincingly so far this year in all their games.
Yeah, they're not going to let up, and they've got great depth as well. They're going to play their style of play. The trademark is that pressure defense. We'll give some credit to Maya Williams on her defense in terms of that was a backdoor cut. She got back in the play, was able to tie up the basketball. Central has it on the alternate possession.
2-1. They just get it across the half-court stripe. But all that effort just to get it in right at the 10-second mark, and now you're only left with 20 seconds to work with to set up your offense in the half court. Shot clock already down to 6. Williams making the approach, and she's fouled with 3 on the shot clock.
Good recognition by Williams. Shot clock running down.
Valentine Dyke, the junior from Los Angeles, who, by the way, is the daughter of Cynthia Cooper, Hall of Famer. You might have heard of her,
Yeah,
Pat?
might have heard of her.
Played 2 seasons at Furman. This is her first season coming over with the Seahawks. Williams, 79% free throw shooter. And she makes the first.
You mentioned Central leading the NEC in free throw percentage. That is a way to stay in a basketball game. They're struggling from the floor, but they're doing a nice job from the free throw line, converting those free opportunities.
That's how just last weekend Central Connecticut State played Fairleigh Dickinson. As we mentioned, the other team that's still unbeaten in conference play. They lost by 6 on the road, and the reason why they were in that game is because FDU got in foul trouble. Central made their free throws, and they were able to hang around and give FDU quite the battle down to the very end. Here's Cowan trying to get on the baseline of Fabozio. Nearly lost it. Just able to save it, walking that tightrope. 5 on the shot clock. Sanchez Henry, crossover dribble. Nice extra pass, but can't finish. Mapandu can't get that layup. That was a pretty setup, but couldn't finish it.
That was a great dish. Mapandu would wish she had that opportunity back. Another defensive board for the Blue Devils. They're doing a nice job on the defensive glass.
Sentence to Williams. Williams on the low block to Napoli. Her jumper was short. Mapandu has the rebound underneath, and now Thibault leads the charge in transition. Bounce pass to Fabozio, lost it out of bounds. We'll go the other direction when we come back from this quick timeout. 4:31 remaining. First half in New Britain. Conference.org for all the very latest on NEC women's basketball. Here in New Britain, the story is that the Seahawks on the road, looking to go to 6-0 in league play, have a 9-point lead, but Central trying to stay in it and make a run here in the second half of the second quarter. Shot no good, and it's now Marissa Sanchez-Henry in transition. She'll slow up, wait for her teammates to catch up. Just about 4 minutes remaining here in quarter 2.
Well, you mentioned, Craig, following the Northeast Conference women's basketball on the internet. I'll tell you what, this is a great league this year. Both coaches so high on the competitive nature. They talked about the quality of the coaches, the influx of graduate students, fifth-year seniors, the quality of play. It's a fun conference to watch, and certainly we encourage the viewers to follow all the action.
You said what I was about to. It's been fun this year. So many new faces as Sentence drives in, puts it up, and it'll be turned away. But just right now we're figuring out who's good, who might not. There's so many questions coming in, and right now we're in the process of getting the answers, and it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, no question about it. Central looked at today's game as a big opportunity to stay in the top half of the league. You've mentioned the Seahawks certainly want to win and maintain that undefeated status in conference play.
Quick inbounds off the fingertips of Jenkins.
Coach Reeves talked to us about the importance of winning games at home and how big a win that was at LIU. Anytime you can win a road game, she talked about the fact that that's a big bonus because it is so difficult to win in this league.
FDU, the other unbeaten at the top of the standings, taking on Sacred Heart later today. Sacred Heart just suffered their first loss on Thursday, so that should be a big game. Here's Williams off the Seahawk miss. Getting it back to Sentence. And there's a foul on the floor trying to feed it to Napoli. Allie Sentence, a freshman from Ontario, Canada, has played 13 games, missed a couple, averages about 10 minutes, but she's been the beneficiary of some of those extra minutes that players are needing to log today off the bench. She's seen some extended time.
Well, and Coach Reeves talked to us. She said we're deep. We can use a lot of players. We have 14 strong, and we're seeing that some of that depth out of necessity on the front line because of Rocol's foul trouble and certainly the absence of Belle Lanfer.
Sentence enjoys volleyball, soccer, very competitive athlete. Williams, step back, long two, off the front of the iron and in. That's the second friendly roll they've gotten today.
I'll tell you what, Williams did a great job because Hayward was playing some serious defense, not letting the point guard go past her. Nice step back and shooter's touch.
Wagner lead down to 7, 29-22. Wabadoo on the approach, making some moves around Napoli, high off the glass and in.
Well, there's a highlight video. Acrobatic move by Wabadoo.
I'm not an expert on geometry or anything, but I'm sure there was some math involved at those angles. High off the glass and in the hoop. 31-22 Seahawks as we approach 2 minutes to play in the half.
Talking to Coach Coburn, he was so excited about the balance they have as well this year. 4 players in double figures.
Williams going on the spin cycle over there. A couple moves, drawing the foul.
Yeah, she's going to be rewarded.
That'll be the 4th team foul.
There's another look at the play. Yeah, Hayward just walks into her. Too much body on the shooter. Good look at Amaya Williams.
And for Drea Hayward, the senior, that's her 3rd foul here in the first half, so she will go to the bench. First free throw good. Hayward, one of the biggest voices on the court, I noticed just watching them the other day against Stonehill. And Coach said that it's really his voice on the court through her. Second free throw, no good. Wabadoo with the loose ball right at the NEC logo.
Yeah, Hayward's a loss. She's one of the top players defensively.
Open look for Fabosi, no good. Weak side rebound by Napoli.
She's a leader for the Seahawks.
Little give and go sentence back to Williams. Central Connecticut looking to get to 3-3 in conference play. Here's Sentence trying to pass it in the lane, but it was intercepted by Fabosi. Does not have numbers. It was a 2-on-4. Well, back to Wabadoo. Wabadoo on the drive, puts it up and in.
Well, that's explosive. I'll tell you what, she's used her left hand. She's used her right hand. That's a great take. She's 5'11", but has great instincts around the basket.
Both Thibault and Wabadoo start at Elmont Memorial, Staten Island. And now we have a Wagner player down. As Cowan. He's going to get helped back up. But they both played high school with each other. Then they went to their separate colleges, and then they both transferred back to play on Staten Island with each other. And they were part of the whole rebuild, first under Heather Jacobs, now continuing under Terrell Coburn to get the Wagner Seahawks to be a championship contender now year in and year out.
Yeah, nobody happier about that than Coach Coburn.
Coach said that we wanted to be a winning program. We wanted to be the program that's on everybody's radar. And I don't know, be careful what you wish for, because now they are.
Yeah,
now they are on everyone's radar.
Targets on their back. He said he's excited about the growth of this team. He said they have not peaked yet. They have more work to do, but their lockdown defensive effort is something that every Northeast Conference women's basketball team is going to have to contend with this year.
33-25, under a minute to play first half. Wabadoo doubled. And back outside the perimeter to Sanchez-Henry. Sanchez-Henry to Wabadoo. Trying to go glass again. Not that time. Bruin to Williams. On an 8-second differential in the 2 clocks. 30 seconds remain in the half. Megan Kennefick, captain for the Blue Devils. Around the perimeter, left to right. Right side, 3-ball. It's good. Amaya Williams.
Amaya Williams has come into this basketball game and made some things happen for the Blue Devils.
They got a buzzer beater going into the half on Thursday by Forever Toppin. They got a last-second three by Williams here today. From the circle. What a jumper by Z Thibault to finish off the first half today here in New Britain. 35-28, the Wagner Seahawks with the lead here at intermission. Seahawks looking to go to 6-0 in conference play, win their 6th in a row. Central has some work to do to get back in this one here in the second half. We'll step aside and bring it back for some halftime features right after this. You're watching NEC Women's Basketball.
Everything you'd expect.
Emma Bruen has had to step up and has played a big role for Central Connecticut.
Yeah, she got the start, and she came out really aggressive. 8 early points as she showed fearlessness, putting the basketball on the floor and having success getting all the way to the rim. She really was a spark, a positive spark for the Blue Devils early in this basketball game. A nice crossover and to the rim.
8 points, 3 rebounds. And this conference with live HD webcast, highlight packages, and more. This site is a one-stop destination for NEC fans. Also, the NEC On The Run streaming app is available for Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, and Android TV, as well as iOS and Android mobile devices. Best of all, NEC Front Row content is the right price, always free. Enjoy the best seat in the house at necfrontrow.com. I'd say second best seat in the house. I think you and I pay on some pretty good seats right here.
Courtside.
We're getting set for the start of the second half. Wagner will get the first possession wearing their road green. Central in their home white. Seahawks going right to left. Blue Devils going left to right.
And Coach Coburn going back with Hayward in the starting lineup.
And Alex Cowan from the right corner, a long two to get things started.
Cowan was quiet in that first half, only 2 points for the Seahawks leading scorer.
And real quick, we just talked about her. There's Bruen laying it up and in for a quick answer.
Good job by Bruen running the floor. The Blue Devils are going to open the second half in a half-court zone.
Trying to get a cut to the basket. Cowan, no good, too strong. Tipped out by Rokel. It'll stay Wagner possession. I wasn't in the meeting, but I would assume Coach Coburn's strategy was to get Cowan involved early on.
Yeah, get her involved. That was a great backdoor cut.
They'll inbound and fade it out into the circle to Fabosi. There's Z Thibault. Crossover dribble, yeah. I put Bruen on her, gets it into the paint. Wabadoo with the little scoop around Rokel, but it was off the mark. Rokel with the rebound. Long lead pass up ahead to Bruen.
Good job in transition defense by the Seahawks.
Around the perimeter, right to left. Kenefick to roll call. Now getting it to top it. Here's Deja Jenkins. Leading scorer for Central. Was quiet in the first half. Bruen on the drive. And a late whistle, but it'll be an offensive foul. Good call. It appeared Wagner got to the spot and held their ground.
Yeah, good heads up by the Seahawks again. Attention to where the basketball is. Everybody reacting to the dribble penetration.
Wagner looking to improve to 6-0 for first time in league history with 10 games to go. 16-game league schedule this year, so they'd be 6-0 with 10 to go. It'll be their 6th straight win overall. Here's Wabadoo along the baseline. Can't finish. Second chance up and in. Wagner also looking for their 6th straight win over the Blue Devils. Central Connecticut, if they can get to 500 today, 3-3 in league play, they'd have their best record after 6 games since 2017. Nice steal by Drea Hayward, who was first in the league last year, currently 2nd in the league this year. Fabosi, the trailer, comes in and gets the basket.
Yeah, 2-on-3. Central had 3 defenders back, but Thibault, Fabosi, determined. Good finish by Julia Fabosi.
Good transition basketball by the Seahawks to up their lead to 11. 41-30. Forever Toppin. Guarded by Thibault. Interesting matchup with the guards there. Some great guard play we expected in this game. Nice spin move on Thibault. Forever Toppin gets the bucket.
Yeah, Toppin's been quiet, but she can go by anybody.
Toppin had a career-high 26 points back in 2021 against the Wagner Seahawks. Inside to Fabosi. Fabosi up and in.
Yeah, she's got good size, about 6'1", good diagonal pass versus the zone.
Native of Staten Island, as we mentioned. High school in Brooklyn. Played hoops and volleyball. Toppin to Jenkins. Puts up the jumper. No good, but Bozy has the rebound. She pulls it off the glass, and now here's Alex Cowan looking to push the pace. Cowan going to take it herself. No. Wabadoo. Rebound. And the putback.
You got to love the tenacity of Wabadoo. 3 Central Connecticut State Blue Devils look to have rebounding position. Out of nowhere comes Kem Wabadoo. What a game this young lady's having for the Seahawks this afternoon.
45-32. Rokel splitting a couple defenders. Second chance, yes.
That's her first basket of the game. We've seen Toppin score. Rokel gets in the scoring column. That's going to be a real boost to the Central Connecticut attack if they start to get some balance.
Rokel leads the NEC in field goal percentage. Cowan from just inside the perimeter. Off the mark, the long rebound goes right to Bruin at the perimeter, and she flips it to Deja Jenkins into the half court.
Seahawks have had great transition defense this afternoon. No easy looks for the Blue Devils.
Rokel back to Kennefic. Over to Bruin. Bruin on the drive, runs right into Wabadoo, and a traveling violation turnover. We'll get some Seahawks substitutions. Ballinger will come back in, relieving Hayward, who again has 3 fouls. Marissa Sanchez-Henry will come back in, taking the place of Alex Cowan. Wagner's hashtag this year is relentless, and we've certainly seen their relentless play here in this ballgame. Wabadoo. And Ballinger cutting to the basket. Jenkins going to tip it to herself along the baseline. Central trying to take advantage here and try to get back within single digits.
Yeah, Central's offense really stagnant right now.
Kennefic waiting for Rokel to come around. Now Forever Toppin. Lost it momentarily. Has possession. Flips to Jenkins with 5 on the shot clock. Into the corner. Bruin to Rokel on the low block. A little running hook. And it'll be rebounded by Fabosi just before the shot clock buzzer. Intercepted by Forever Toppin. She keeps it in bounds. And there's Jenkins. Jenkins in transition to Bruin. And a traveling violation as she tried to get around the defender. She makes both. 56-49, a big flip with 1:30 to go.
Trying to get the ball to Williams.
And I think that's who you want the ball in her hands at this moment, the way she's played here today. Williams with 16 points, a new career high.
Yeah, Thibault playing some great defense on Jenkins.
10 on the shot clock. Here's Jenkins driving in, feeding it to Rokel. And we'll go the other way.
Yeah, Wabadoo, awesome job rotating defensively. Jenkins trying to make the dish. Rokel unable to pull that pass in.
Seahawks get it into the half court. Sanchez-Henry coming back out.
Yeah, they're going to use some clock.
Multiple possession lead for Wagner. Sanchez-Henry to Wabadoo, top of the key. Cowan in the right corner, 10 to shoot. Cowan off the screen. Penetrate, kick to the left side. Off the mark, Wabadoo the offensive rebound. She puts it back up high off the glass. No, it goes right to Kennefic. Central has to hurry.
They got to go.
About a 9-second differential in the 2 clocks. Williams to Jenkins. Jenkins lets it fly. It's good. A 3-ball keeps Central alive for the moment. 56-52 with 26.8 seconds to spare.
Deja Jenkins with the big 3. This is an opportunity now. Central's going to have to extend their full court pressure, extend to full court pressure. Can they get a quick steal? Can they trap, go for a steal? Then you're going to have to pick your poison. You're going to have to foul somebody, send Wagner to the free throw line, see if they can make some big free throws on the road.
And the one person you don't want the ball in her hands is Cowan. She's an 87% free throw shooter, best in the league. But if you could get Thibault, Sanchez, Henry, Wabadoo, those players are about in the 60s in terms of free throw percentage. So if you can force them to inbound to one of those players, Central might have a chance.
Yeah, you never know. But you also have to keep in mind they've got Z Thibault. If you can get the ball in her hands, she's a one-person press break. She can also run out some time on the clock.
That is true. We mentioned earlier, quick as a hiccup. As Wagner tries to survive here at the Blue Devils' den and improve to 6-0 in conference play.
Looks like Wagner's going to advance the basketball, take advantage of that rule.
It was a Wagner timeout, so they'll get it in the half court. It'll be Thibault to inbound here on the near sideline. Wabadoo, Fabosi, Hayward, and Cowan, the other four, in for the Seahawks. Thibault to Cowan. Back to Thibault, back to Cowan. Again, shot clock's turned off. Central has to foul. Right now, Wagner playing keep away. And they're doing it quite well. I mean, Cowan had a smile on her face. They're just playing keep away.
Yeah, she was trying to pass the ball and keep it moving. Things work out for the Seahawks. They send their best free throw shooter to the line.
A huge chunk of time coming off the clock. Now only 10 seconds remaining with Cowan going to the line. Alex Cowan in double figures today. She makes the first free throw. Wagner will be next in action Thursday at St. Francis, Brooklyn, Central Connecticut. Will be at Merrimack. 57-52, 5-point lead. Jenkins trying to step back. Kenefick rims out the